You're welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily. Now we move to Bortianor, where there are some disturbing news that have been recorded. So there has been a police landguard, anti-robbery operation. Some people have been gunned down, and this, has been met by some of the residents there with mixed reactions to this, because some of them say that no, the police is not really presenting the case as is supposed to. But the police has also issued a statement. What really is the situation? What really happened? David, if you've opened, there are some of the reports, recorded on the citinewsroom.com. We are going to be taking some of these and then try and get our correspondent, Calvin Stete, to really bring us up to speed on what exactly the situation looks like right now.
Yeah, so we have 5 killed in anti-landguard operation at Bortianor by the police, and then we also have Bortianor police, landguard crossfire, police on manhunt for the remaining suspects. So let me start with the 5 killed in the anti-landguard operation. The Ghana Police Service has confirmed that 5 suspected landguards have been shot and 5 weapons recovered in an anti-robbery and landguard operation conducted at Bortianor on June 8th. 2023. Now, in a statement signed by the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Director of Public Affairs, Grace Ansa Akrofi, noted the individuals had been terrorizing residents and landowners in Bortianor and nearby communities. Now, according to the police, the suspects who were hiding initiated gunfire as the police team approached, leading to an exchange of gunfire. Consequently, 5 suspects sustained injuries and were later pronounced dead at the hospital. The remaining suspects managed to escape and are currently evading capture. A police statement revealed that the evidence recovered from the crime scene includes 1 AK-47 assault rifle along with 10 rounds of AK-47 ammunition, a pump-action gun with 9 rounds of BB cartridges, 2 pistols with 10 rounds of 9mm ammunition, and an unregistered Toyota Tacoma pickup truck, 4 motorbikes, 3 of which are unregistered, a knife, and a pepper spray canister. Now, the police are actively pursuing the remaining suspects, some of whom are believed to have sustained gunshot wounds during the operation. Now, the police statement is right there, and you can read it.
No, can we take another one before we go on to
let's do
So
that.
There's another report put together by Letitia Osei on the citinewsroom.com. It says Bortianor Police Landguards crossfire, police on manhunt for remaining suspects. And it reads, the Ghana Police Service has launched a manhunt for suspects following an anti-robbery and anti-landguard operation in Bortianor. On June 8, 2023, the police conducted an operation targeting criminal elements involved in robbery and landguard activities in the area. Now, these individuals, according to the police, had been terrorizing residents and landowners in Bortianor and nearby communities. A statement issued by the police on June 10 and signed by its Assistant Commissioner of Police and Director of Public Affairs, Grace Ansa Akrofi, indicated that some of the suspects fled after engaging the officers in a crossfire, leading to the death of 5 suspects. The police appeal to the public, especially residents of Bortianor community, to promptly report any individuals with gunshot wounds who may be seeking medical treatment. Upon spotting the approaching police team, the suspects opened fire from their hideout, prompting the police to return fire. As a result, 5 of the suspects were injured and later pronounced dead at the hospital. So it comes back to the background that you gave earlier. So I think now we can take the official statement from the police.
All right, so this is the official statement from the police. It's in the story. It says here, anti-robbery and anti-landguard operation in Bortianor and surrounding areas. 5 shot, 4 weapons recovered. Now, number 1, it says on June 8th, 2023, the police conducted an operation targeting criminal elements involved in robbery and anti-landguard activities. It says here, these individuals had been terrorizing residents and landowners in Bortianor and nearby communities. 2. Upon spotting the approaching police team, the suspects opened fire from their hideout, prompting the police to return fire as a result of As a result, 5 of the suspects were injured and later pronounced dead at the hospital. The remaining suspects fled the scene and are still on the run. Exhibits retrieved from the crime scene include, and it goes through a list of the different things which we mentioned just a little while ago. And then 4, police are actively pursuing the remaining suspects, some of which are believed to have sustained gunshot injuries during the operation. And finally, 5, we appeal to the public, especially the residents of Bortianor community, to promptly report any individuals with gunshot wounds who may be seeking medical treatment. Your cooperation will assist the police in taking immediate action. And it's signed by Grace Ansa Akrofi, the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Director of Public Affairs. Yeah.
Right, I've been joined by our correspondent, Calvis Tete. Hello, Calvis. Good morning.
Yes, hello, sir.
So, where are you currently? Back to Bortianor?
Well, I'm not in Bortianor currently. But,
okay.
The incident that happened last week Thursday is one that took residents of Bortianor by surprise. You know, they woke up to the news of the killing of some individuals who are reported to landguard according to the police. What we know is that parcel of land belongs to Citi, that is construction pioneer, and then they later sold it to Trasaco. That is what we know. So I think these individuals who are reported to the landguard have been going on the land and terrorizing residents, terrorizing the developer and some individuals who are working on the land. They go there randomly, tell them to work and all that. But then, the unfortunate incident happened on 8 June, that was on Thursday, when these individuals went there again. Apparently, the estate developer had sought the assistance of the police who had laid ambushes in the community in the bush story, and then they shot at these individuals, killing 5 of them. As we speak now, the community is quite sad. There have been issues of persons claiming that some of these individuals who were shot were actually not landguards as they perceived.
Right now, who do they say the people are, the community members? In your interaction with them, have they been able to identify some of the people, and do they know who they are? Have you been able to speak to family members or friends?
Well, I think the one that his brother was shot, he was among those who were shot, and that the brother is a steel bender. Apparently, he had gone there to work. That is what the lady was saying. So I think he met Rotterdam there when the incident happened. And he said that the brother not a landguard. The brother was among those who were shot and killed by the police.
Now, when you gauge the mood in the community, how would you describe it?
Well, traditional authorities, I spoke to some of them this morning. They are not happy about the incident. They are saying that they are really going to go into the matter well. Right now, what actually happened was basically some of these individuals were not done that as being perceived. The community is quite sad that incident that happened. That is not to say that there are no landguard activities in that area. There is landguard activities in that area. You know, terrorizing residents, among others. So that is not to say that there is no landguard activities in the area.
Now, just paint a clearer picture to us. You know, how would you describe the land issues, in acquiring lands and protection of lands and buildings, construction and all that? How would you describe that in the area?
Well, you know, Bortianor is a fast developing area. It lies in some portion of the central region and some portion of the greater Accra region. So the land in question is a land that is quite big, and that Bortianor enclave is closer to Accra. In fact, it's in the greater Accra region, but it's very closer to Accra. So people, so the land there is quite expensive. Most of these individuals who are occupying this land are estate developers who buy the land for it, and then they then build and then sell it out to individuals. So there's a lot of tension around that area. And there have been a couple of landguard issues in that area. We have reported a couple of them. They terrorize residents. Sometimes they come there and they demand that you pay digging fees to the tune of 5,000. I mean, how much do you need to even buy the land to pay digging fees to the tune of 5,000? So some residents are even saying this is good news for them because, I mean, they have been living here for quite a long time. And, you know, when these individuals come from, it's quite scary, you know, the way they attack you, they come to motorbikes, buildings, machetes and all that. I mean, no one would want to experience such a thing, you know. So it's quite sad here, but some residents are also saying it is good news for them.
So where are the bodies of the deceased persons? With the police or given to family?
Well, I spoke to one particular leader in that community. Because up until now, they can't confirm if it is where they were from. The bodies are with the police at the police hospital hall. The traditional authorities are saying they have not received the bodies. So, I've been now, the bodies are with the police.
All right, now, if you don't have anything else to add, we'll come back to you later in subsequent bulletins.
Thank you.
Right. So, that was our Central Regional Correspondent, Calvis Citi, giving us more insight into what happened on Thursday. That is a clash between some suspected land guards and the police. You know, this was an anti-robbery and anti-land guard operations, and that led to 5 people losing their lives, with others also who were able to escape, but with gunshot injuries. David.
Yeah. Well, the police are doing, their work to prepare the report that the statement that they've made. I am just a bit concerned about the execution style that it seemed to have gone down. Now, if the people did engage the police first in gunfire, it makes sense, that you return fire not only to protect yourself, but to stop them in their tracks. So that's fair. But I wish the statement went a bit further to sort of give us more detail. And maybe they will, as to who the people actually are individually, because as the statement says, there are no names. As you can see the statement, there's no names. Usually there's identification, right? You see that they said they'll mention names of people. This one, there's no names in here. You see, it seems that the statement has come out maybe a little hurriedly because, people, there's a lot of agitation in terms of were they really land guards, we don't know land guards, and all of that.
I think we've heard the police has issued a report, which is commendable, especially with all the confusion and uncertainty surrounding it. That is the how a family member has come out to say that my brother was into land guard. You know, he's a steel bender. Maybe we need an independent, investigation into this whole thing to know that, because there've been situations in the past that people were taken to be armed robbers, but subsequently, exactly, that was not really how the facts were to be presented. So maybe if we can really delve into it to really know who these people are, because if they are land guards, do they even live in the communities? Do people know them in the area? Who are they in terms of character and all that? I mean, if they are really land guards, people will welcome this news that you are dealing with the people, because really the activities of land guards are very scary and very dangerous. They will harm you. And I think that even up till this time, we shouldn't even be talking about land guards, because
there's actually a law against the existence of land guards.
So why are they still operating?
Anyway, so we have another story here. The Bureau of Public Safety calls for independent probe into Bortianor police shooting. Again on citinewsroom.com. Bureau of Public Safety calls for independent probe into Bortianor police shooting. Now it says here, the Bureau of Public Safety, BPS, has called for an immediate and independent investigation into the June 8th, 2023 shooting by the police in Bortianor. Now, it's a suburb of Accra. Now, 5 people were killed in the incident, which the police have said was a shootout with suspected land guards. However, the BPS has raised concerns about the police use of force, saying that it appears to have been unjustified. With great distress, we acknowledge the possibility that the 5 individuals may have fallen victim to what appears to be an unjustified use of force. Nanaya Akwada, the executive director of BPS, has said in a press statement, "This is deeply troubling and goes against our Constitution's justice and fair treatment principles." Now, the BPS is concerned about the emerging culture of violence by the police In recent years, there have been a number of high-profile incidents in which the police have used excessive force, sometimes resulting in the death of innocent civilians. Now, Dr. Nana Yao Akoda has joined us on the line. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, boss. Good morning to your viewers.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily. Now, you said that the incident here is raising some concerns for you. Can you elaborate, please?
Okay, so I think we made that clear in our press statement. But what we need to understand, as I said on radio a short while ago, that police accountability and control on or off the police service are critical to the success of our democracy. Because the police in any democracy, where we say democracy is the rule of law, the institution, the foremost institution that, leads the implementation of the rule of law is the police. It is the most visible manifestation of state authority.
Yeah.
It is the only one governmental institution that nearly every citizen comes across in their daily lives. It is absolutely important that they work to win over public trust. If their actions does not help them win over public trust, they lose legitimacy. And if the police loses legitimacy, the state, or if you like, the government loses legitimacy. If the government loses legitimacy, we don't have a country. I think it's that simple. Every police activity, in terms when you talk about police accountability, it means that police activity ranging from the behavior of a single police officer to the strategies for police operations must be open to observation by a variety of oversight institutions and stakeholders, as civil society organizations, as citizens, we are stakeholders. We want to ask the police that on June 8th, when they were planning to undertake this operation, how many strategies did they review? And how did they arrive at this particular approach? Was it their best strategy? And if it led to the loss of 5 deaths, do they think that just flying a paper at us in the form of a press statement was enough? This is not even tolerated in the worst of jurisdictions. So the police must come again. As for the control on the police service, and I'm emphasizing on service to the public. Yeah. I think that over time we are seeing a lack of discipline in relation to operation planning. And it is important that the police, reinvent themselves in that manner. You cannot at every point go for an operation and bring back bodies. Yeah. It is not acceptable. Dead bodies are not a key performance indicators. They are not trophy of good policing. In fact, they are a sign of a bad policing strategies, bad policing administration, and bad policing leadership. So they should not be flaunting dead bodies as though they are trophies. They are a sign, they are an indicator that they are doing well. We must, as a people, reject that kind of narrative.
Yeah. Now, if the police come on the scene and they are caught off guard or ambushed by armed robbers, who open fire at them. Is that not the appropriate response to return fire? And if they do, and people are caught in, and are shot dead, are the police not justified?
I believe I'm speaking to Kweku.
Yes.
Great. So, Kweku, I want us to limit ourselves to this particular operation, as we are told.
Okay.
These are landguards. These are landguards. Landguards are known in the communities. Landguards are familiar with the community. What stopped the police from picking up intelligence to pick up these guys, one after the other?
Yeah.
Stop them. It was not as though people's lives were in imminent danger and these guys were robbing people and then the police were called in. It's not as though that's what it was. These are land guards. They are familiar people within the community.
Yeah.
People know them. And the police could have picked these guys up one by one and still be able to retrieve whatever evidence they needed and present these people before court. Look, it's in how many years since we passed the anti-vigilantism and other violence?
2-3 years now, at least. Yeah.
Yes, nearly 4 or 5 years. Okay, so are the police saying that we do not have operational procedures for tackling these land guard issues, and that they must approach land guards as though they were approaching armed robberies incidents? It is completely not acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. All right, so that was the Executive Director of the Bureau of Public Safety, Dr. Nanaya Akwada. He makes some very interesting and I think very important points. In policing, intelligence is your biggest trump card.
Yeah.
If you pick up intelligence that this particular guy, David Citi, is terrorizing citizens in a community, yours is to track him down, locate him, arrest him.
Exactly,
and if you do it well, he will not be prepared for you. Therefore, catching him unawares and handcuffing him is the easiest thing to do.
There are a lot of questions, that will be asked in this. What were they doing at the time? How come they were already armed? When the police came in, that they opened fire first. Were they on an operation? Do you know where I'm coming from? What happened?
And like you said,
were these people on, let's say, a robbery group? So you had a distress call, so you had to get in. When the people heard the police was coming in, they opened fire and all that. What is the background surrounding what really happened? Were they in their homes? Were they hiding somewhere? Do they have a hideout? What happened?
I think even the police statement leaves more questions than answers.
And another thing, David, that I've observed, this is not directly related to this, but I see that, well, I don't know about other areas, but in my neighborhood, there are no street lights on that stretch. And in recent times, I really applaud the police for trying to give us some visibility, But the thing is, we have so yesterday, for instance, I went out, I was coming home, and this was even around 6:37, so it's a bit dark, but not late.
All dark,
And you have police in black, you can't even see them. And these are armed police people, a car full on the stretch, stopping people, trying to, I got there. When you get there, you will panic. Because, and
it's a scary sight. It's not, I know exactly what you mean.
And this is not the first time,
I know exactly what you mean.
In the past weeks, they have been there. You get there and they stop you, So yesterday I was like, come out, come and open your boot, do this. And I have police people with guns standing on me just because they want to do routine checks and all that. This is very frightening, you know, very dark. I can't even see the faces of the people who are asking me to do stuff. And these are armed people and they are about 6 or 7.
I don't know if it's standard operating procedure, you know, by the police, but the community thing that, like you said, you know, random, you know, and of course, police can always pick up intelligence that there's some armed robbery going on, or there are some armed robbers who have gone into an area, and so you want to check and everything else. But you see, when you see a lady, you know, like yourself in the car, maybe with kids on,
I was with my son,
with your son, that doesn't appear to be something that we will find on any police comms that says that, you know, there was a lady with a young boy and they may be armed and dangerous.
And you see, the thing
so
is,
I don't know how this...
When I was approaching them, I slowed down, I turned on my inside lights, front and back.
That's the way I do mine.
Exactly, you know, I won't even let you ask. I turn the lights on, they say roll down, I roll down, they say park. I park, and I got down. Now, where I wasn't too comfortable is having about 3 policemen around me with guns, you know, and one is like, come and open your boot, and the others are at the side. And I was very uncomfortable with that. I appreciate the work that the police is doing, but sometimes, you know, we are not criminals. We are trying to protect us. Don't frighten us. Don't scare us.
In that particular situation of yours, I don't understand why any well-meaning police officers will actually behave in that way. Because when you are heavily armed like that, first of all, anybody that's a normal, regular citizen will be frightened. That's the first thing. So for you to further go and intimidate by your appearance and everything else, a little child with a mother in a vehicle, you know, standing heavily on top of them, like around them, and say, come and open the boot and that kind of thing. There's no point, there's no problem in opening the boot, but one person is enough. You know, the rest of you can stand off and then. So I think that we need to do a little better by the way we handle some of these things. I've been in situations like this before, and it's rather troubling. You know, the way, you know, and somebody has actually pulled a gun on me before. You know, I don't know if I told you this story. It happened on Domi Pillar too. Wow. You know, yes, and I was the passenger, and my friend was the one driving. And it was an organization's vehicle, you know, one of our universities. And she works for the university and says that this is an official vehicle, so I'll report the incident because it was an expired.
Roadworthy.
Okay. It was an expired roadworthy. They said it's an official vehicle. This is not, you know, you can see that all the things marking the branding and everything. So I'll report to the authorities, and then you can take it up with them, right? The guy says no, she should get down from the vehicle. And I said, excuse me, didn't you hear what she just told you? You know. So his senior on the ground came to the scene, realizing what was happening, came to the scene and said, what's going on? And we said, this, that, that. He says, oh, drive on. There's no issue here. You drive on. And then, as we drove on, the guy cocks his gun. You know, and I think this kind of erratic, almost loony type of policemen, we need to weed them out of the system. You know, it doesn't help. All the efforts that, you know, the IGP and the police high command is doing, it doesn't help when you have some of these people behaving like this. Anyway, so that's what we have for the community development segment this morning.